All right, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a good one. Welcome to the Sunday edition of Live with Reefer Madness. We're going to hang out for an hour or two today, and we'll see what we get chatting about. It's kind of an open topic discussion today. I really don't have anything specific in mind. So grab your coffee, grab your beverage, whatever that may be. Grab a smoke of whatever type you desire, and let's get to chit-chatting. Now we got a couple people hanging around. Thank you very much for showing up. Let's see where the day takes us, shall we? Now, me personally had kind of a weird conversation with somebody last night, and weird in that this is somebody who I assume is intelligent. They got ick again, and they got ick bad, and they still just want to do the support method. And I said, well, that's all well and good. What are you supporting the fish with? You know, are you feeding them, you know, the garlic thing, just the normal things, and do you have anything else? And he's got ick X, and I said, have you read what's in ick X? I said, you can't put that in your reef tank, man. You know, it's you're going to lose inverts for sure. I said, and chances are it's going to decimate your corals. You know, your mileage is going to vary here. And I just explained to him, you can, but I'm telling you that a lot of people have had a lot of bad experiences using it that way. Yeah, he destroyed his tank last night. He nuked all of it. Everything died. Everything in that tank died. And I totally feel for him. I guess the only good thing that came out of that for him, he's not going to give up. And so he tells me. And I mean, that to me is, you know, fantastic. I would rather him not give up. Perfect. So, what do you guys think? Not that I want to talk about ick, because it seems to be something I get drawn into quite frequently, because I have strong opinions about it, because of what it is, right? But last night's, you know, for me, that's just look at the proof again. Like, you know, a product that is reef safe, I say with air quotes, goes and destroys this guy's tank. I mean, you know, everything is dead, right? The fish all died. He followed the directions. He even went less. And every coral is dead, every fish is dead, every invert is dead. So. I did not. So we had ick, Lisa. And he tried that reef safe product, one of the ones you can get here in Canada, and he nuked his tank last night. Completely nuked his tank. After having a discussion with me about that, you know, I wouldn't use that product. I'm not going to name the product. I already did. Well, I guess I already did. He used ick X, which is supposed to be, that's a friend here locally. I won't say names because I'm not out to embarrass the guy. We have had many good discussions about reefing. He got ick for the second time. And, you know, it's one of those situations where you're kind of explaining to him where that came from. You know, so, well, I didn't do this, and the fish were coordinating. I said, right, okay, did you add any coral? Well, yeah. And I'm like, well, that's where it came from. It came from a coral, or it came from an invert shell. It's pretty agile, man. You know, and it's got a 3-month minimum that it can wait, or max. But we're starting to see ones that it may be longer. So, but anyway, he got it, and he didn't want to take all the fish out. But funny enough, he did kind of want to tear down. And I'm like, well, then take the opportunity to tear down, leave the fish that are in the tank that you're getting rid of, do the, you know, everything in that, and put all the inverts and everybody over into another tank, and fallow that tank for 3 months, right? Hey, bees. And it was, anyway, it's one of those situations where I didn't want to be proved right, but he tried that ick X, and he nuked his tank. Everything's dead. So, you know, it's definitely, you know, when it comes down to dealing with ick, it's, I have my personal opinion and feeling on how you deal with it. If you don't have the water volume to do the support method, and he did not, he only had a 30-gallon tank, it's just too explosive. And two, if there were a reef-safe product, truly reef-safe product, they'd be making money way more than they're making right now. Oh, that's okay, Lisa. You owe me no explanation. I just appreciate people dropping by. You know what I mean? So how's everybody in the chat doing? I see Eddie's in the house. I see Bee's Reef. I see Lisa. To all the ones that are just listening in, thanks for tuning in. I might have Cruz on today. I don't know. He's not feeling so well. I'm feeling a little better, thankfully. Morning, Phil. So it comes down to, like, once again, I guess for those, yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are in the stream today. Know that your sons and daughters, appreciate it. Did I give them the flu? No, we don't even live close to each other, thankfully. Bought a skimmer off a guy on Facebook, marketplace for £50. Alright, so what's B's question? Just sent the guy the money. He was supposed to send it Monday, but said of the size was £20 to send and couldn't. How far away is it, Bees? Is it a drive? Oh, I will. Absolutely, actually. I bought my wife a bottle of wine, and I cooked her a meal last night, so she had to work today, Mother's Day or not. 3.5 hours. Hey, speaking of Cruz, you must have heard the Cruz call. How you doing, Cruz? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right? Good. Good to hear.
Yep. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I feel a little better today. A little. That's a relative term.
Yeah. Me too.
It was funny. It was. I forget who it was that mentioned me about my sugars, but I was very appreciative when people who know I'm diabetic. Have you checked today? That kind of thing. So when I got off yesterday, I decided to check, and I was way low. I was at 2.5, which is starting to get dangerous.
I got off yesterday too.
Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah, go ahead.
My rocker was down to freaking 4.
Yeah. So all of us guys that are burning the candle. You know what's funny? I'm unemployed and I work harder than I did when I was working. I said to a friend of mine, but it's because I've been helping a lot of people. So I'll tell you the story, Cruz, and I'll give it for everybody that's in here. So I have a friend here. I will not name his name. I'm not out to embarrass anybody. He dropped over yesterday to pick up some RODI. I sell my RODI water, by the way. Little source of income there. Nothing much, but hey. It does help pay for the stuff. But it's funny. I wouldn't have to pay for the stuff if I wasn't selling the water, right? So,
Yep.
Just a topic there for you. But he has ick again, and he bought a bottle of Ick X. And he said to me, he goes, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "Well, I cured Brooklynella." I said, "On my clowns with this," I said, "in a separate container, right?" I said, "It's not a lot of formaldehyde, but you know what? Maybe it's a little more gentle than 30% that's in formalin." Blah blah blah. I said, "But I would not put that in your reef tank, man. Look what's in it, right?" And I said, "I know it says reef safe on here. It is not. I'm going to tell you flat out, it's not." Anyway, he had a pretty healthy 29-gallon reef. He didn't listen. He put it in last night, even below the dose recommendations, and he nuked his tank. Everything's dead. Everything.
Reef safe, huh?
Reef safe, huh?
Reef safe.
Yeah. So he's like, "Well, maybe if I use," I said, "Listen," I said, "I feel that way about anything that says reef safe." I said, it's not doing anything other than supporting your fish. Well, you can do that on your own. I said, feed them, keep them healthy, keep them interested in the food. I said, and look for the guys that are getting weak. If you can get them out, get them into a separate tank and really aggressively treat them. Right? I said, because you're in this weird state. I said, but remember this, if you don't remove all the fish, the ick is still there. It's that simple. I said, whether or not it's in an explosive state, I said, it's up to you. Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Because the thing is that when you start off with ick, and then it lays the babies, and then it comes back out. I mean, you're only limited to the fish, or the ick is only limited to the fish that you have inside your tank. So of course you're going to get like a huge infestation on that fish.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. We were talking about that before, me and you and a few others, that water volume makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Now, on to Bees got an issue. Bees has suffered the fate of everybody who's ever dealt with a Craigslist, Kijiji, and whatever you bought that on Facebook. He bought a skimmer off a guy for a good price. The guy did not ship it. And, okay, so at this point he has said that he'll ship it for £7 on Monday. Okay, through courier. All right. Now, let's see. He's given all the details for the address and contact number, matches his Facebook profile, so I can go around. You know, I'm the kind of guy, I'd be at the door, give me my skimmer. You know, that's just what I'm like, man. I'd be right there. I already sent you the money. This was all in good faith. If you're going to be that kind of a bell end, right, then I'm going to show up at your door, and you're going to give it to me. You know what I mean? Or we're going to have a talk with the local constabulary, as I think you guys call it, and we're going to say, look, here's
constables.
this. Yeah, let's have a look. Look, I sent money, blah, 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 for this. Yeah, everything in good faith. Guy did not give me my product. Yeah, so. And he'll say it's a civil matter, but you know what? When you call the cops, people tend to get embarrassed. By the way, just saying. So. Now, I hope that works out for you, Bees. I hate that crap. I really do. I hate people. I have not bumped into it very often, but unfortunately in the used market, that can happen. All right. You doing all right, Cruz? Did you roll over on your phone? What you doing, man? Gotta keep an eye on that today. There we go. I'm checking that. And why is my stuff disappearing? I bet you it's because I gotta pull this out just a little more. There we go. So, and hi, you Blinky. I did say hi in the chat.
Hi.
There you go. All right. So, how's everybody else doing there? We've got a good, nice little crowd going. So, oh. Yeah. So I've been bitching about Ick again. So there. All you can hear is "Thorn in My Side" by the Eurythmics. Go listen to it. That's Ick for me. But I do seem to be the guy that they call, and it's like, and I think where I'm going with this is that's the point I start to get irritated. You know, if I'm going to give you my opinion, and you're basically just going to and keep going because you were looking for the answer you wanted to hear. Well, you have a beard. That's a cat on your face anyway. You're all good, Betty. Trust me. So, you know, when you really think about it, it's like, what irritated me more, I still feel bad that he lost his tank. Right? I do. I honestly do. But when you warn somebody, it's so hard not to go, I told you so. Do I do it? Do I hammer that point home? Would you guys, there's an opinion, would you hammer that home? The I told you so, or would you be the bigger person about it, or the nicer person about it, or whatever you want to call it? You know, hey Rob, hey Tina, what about you, Cruz? Do you like to hammer the point home with an I told you so, or do you just sort of, yeah, that sucks, and give maybe the backhanded comment, or do you just full?
Usually I don't talk to them for a while until they start listening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The silent treatment. Like, right. Oh my God, I'm going through all these freaking problems. I'm like, you know, like radio silence.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you told me to do this, but I did this, and this. You know, my tank's gone.
Right. No, exactly. Right. You know,
I show them that I see their message, but I don't respond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's almost. You want to be able to explain to them without and I think I actually agree with the no, because it's like gloating, and that's just it. That's why I don't call them up like, well, see, I told you, man, look what happened, blah blah blah, ho ho ho, don't you hate me, I'm a douchebag, because then they're not going to come to me and I heard myself come back really loud. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
But it is like gloating. It is I don't do it because then they won't come to me for help, and it's not that I want you to come to me for help. You know what I mean? Like I run a stream, guys. I bring in people that have that information. I might have that information. That's the whole point, is that we get to spitball ideas and thoughts and try and figure out what somebody's problem is, or help them with the problem, or that kind of thing. So really, if somebody does that, I try not to come back on it, because I want them next time, hopefully they'll listen, and this time when they're told, how to help them resolve that issue, they listen. You know what I mean? But repeat offenders, I have no mercy for, and I have a few here that I don't even help anymore. So Cruz dropped off. I know he's having connection issues. So yeah, constructive criticism, B. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. And once again, my cats are locked out of my son's room and are going to meow. So if you hear that, I do apologize.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. No, that's all right, man. That's all right.
I had to drop off for a little bit.
No. Were you coughing? Did you poop a little when you coughed? No, come on. No, I am not letting it go that sideways today. We are not. Actually, it's funny. YouTube did message me about, remember that stream we had the other night? We got a little out of hand. It was actually funny. It wasn't a strike or anything else. It was asking me to, and I'm getting it worded today, the legalese warning about children. Right? Because where it's fish and aquariums, I am listed that way. So I'm like, oh, not a problem, right? So I changed, the listing's going to get changed today so that kids can't get in here without their parents, per se.
Yep.
And that way, if that kind of conversation comes up, I can't get in trouble for it. So I thought that was rather nice of them not to strike me right away for it and just warn me up front, like, hey, you got to change this. Okay, will do.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's what it is, right? There is a certain responsibility when you're going to do this, and we're going to have a group of people in here, and we're all a bunch of silly guys and gals, that we got to make sure that somebody who's underage isn't in here listening, right? So, we know lots of people lurk and they listen, and they may find it entertaining, but their parents may not find it so funny that we're talking about bell ends and, and I'm using the polite word, but you know what I mean? When the bad words do come out or the things do come up, you do have to sort of watch out. I'll send that right out, Tim. And I'll have a look through my chat here in a moment, folks. I'm trying to keep a little bit of track, as it were. I'll give you my shitty Sean Connery impression. Why, Miss Moneypenny? You're lovely today. There we go. All right, so that's sent. Tim should be there. Let's have a look. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Williams? AKA, we know who you are.
Hello, Mr. Williams.
Phil, Del's Reef, Bees is still here with me. I know Lisa's still hanging around too. How you doing? Hey, Tina. And who else? Blinky Fish. Just to bring you up. Hey, Lisa. The other Lisa. How you guys all doing?
I'm trying to find their comments. I don't see their comments.
Yeah, see what you can do. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I gotta go shut the cat up. And I'm gonna mute it, because you don't want to hear it.
Hey, Narcosis. So you only lost one torch while you were on vacation. One torch. Yep, true. Better than a $300 coral.
Yeah, much better. Yeah, definitely.
Narcosis. Yeah, Narcosis lost the freaking torch.
Oh. Now, if Paul were here, he'd say, "Yep, lose them every time." How you doing, Tim?
I mean, Greg, I thought for a while you had banned me from the stream or something.
I haven't banned anybody.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know you are. No, I'm going to take it personally. No, man, screw you.
Right. I've been in the chat yelling, link. I'm going, come on, Greg, look at the chat. I'm out here, man. It's like, Jesus, I can't get in the regular way. Gosh.
No, you never could, man.
Yeah, none of us can.
I know.
A lot of us cannot.
No, and it's actually, it started kind of like with you, Tim, and now it seems like everybody can. And I've been double checking with.
Yeah.
everywhere that I can, and it just seems to be a pervasive problem. So, hey, Sandy.
I'm gonna give Tim a hard time. Tell him that he infected it.
Yeah, it's been so long. I forgot what I wanted I forgot what I was going to talk about. Now. Jesus. Damn.
Hey, Phil, you said you had 3 heads die of leaching aluminum.
And he goes, mine leaks zinc.
And this is from what product from BRS, guys?
The dumb tops from BRS.
The what?
Oh,
That's what he said.
Is that from the? You're talking about the screen kits, the acrylic frame? Really? I have ones I bought. They're aluminum, and I got them sealed. Maybe that's what made the difference.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never really would have thought that would leach. But I guess where we cut them, that's an open source for salt to get in there and then start causing
some degradation.
Yeah, for lack of a better word. Go ahead, bud. What?
Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
I did that, but I'll do it
happy
again.
Sunday.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, happy Sunday. Thanks for all the work you do and putting up with us idiots.
Oh, I know. Hey.
And you say, and vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah.
I want to talk to you about, Cruz is here too now, but about, Steve Rotter. I was watching yesterday, the bubbling, but he's letting the
water level.
The water level down, so it takes a while for the water to accumulate for the pump, and then it pumps it up with full of bubbles. I'm going, okay, I guess this will work.
Yeah.
But leave it to Steve to find to do something crazy.
Well, I spoke to that a little bit, and I was talking to a few people about it, and the consensus is that he's doing it for a very short amount of time. I think about 10, 20 minutes. So he's clearing his water, right? But he's not getting the full benefits, and it's probably a decent thing he's not, because chances are he's just pumping CO2, right? So that's going to be a very low oxygenated area there in the sump, and it's just going to cause that. But I'm going to see if one of us can get a hold of him and just kind of let him know, like, it works for that, and if that's all you're doing, that's fine. But if you're trying to get the other benefits from it, you're not going to, right? You know, or you'll see very nominal changes in any of your water chemistry because of that. So, and Cruz can probably speak to that better than I can.
Other than that, I don't want to talk about it too much either. But if you look at Steve's video that he did, I believe last Saturday on IC, that's about the best personal video on YouTube I've seen anybody do on the subject of IC. It's concise, it's to the point, it's on target. Everything he says on that's like the best little video I've seen in total on YouTube about IC. If you just listen to that, you'll have 99% of your IC advice right there. So I told him that. I said I couldn't agree with you more. That you're like 100% correct. And filter out all this other stuff that comes through, and he's got it down to right on point on IC. So check out his video.
Pretty good.
There we go. Thanks for getting that, Cruz. Because Eddie did ask that yesterday, and I went, I don't know. I mean, you can. Does Steve Rotter criticize everybody? No.
He criticizes the right people.
He didn't do that to me yet.
No, he doesn't criticize everybody, and he's not really misinformed. That'd be the way. I would love to have a much longer talk about using hydrogen peroxide in a tank, just for obvious reasons. But you know what I mean. And just because, not a problem, Cruz. Little things like that. But overall, I absolutely, adore his videos, right? Because he does speak his mind. He speaks right to the point, without being insultive. You know what I mean?
But on the subject of IC, I don't agree with peroxide, but on the subject of IC, that's point, right dead on,
That's pretty much the same thing I say about it. I have when I got ick the first time. That's how I found out about Steve Rotter. Um, it was the simple fact that it was like, you know what, that's right, and that's what I did. I did it before seeing him, but it just sort of confirmed it for me that anything else is just pissing in the wind. You know what I mean? You can try to support the fish, you can do that, and especially if you have the water volume, you're going to get away with it. But if you're running a nano tank, so you're running 60 gallons or less, and you get ick, you better get those fish out of there because it's just not going to end well for you. It's just too confined to water volume. Go ahead.
Did CJ get ick? Did I hear that something about CJ got ick again on in his tank or something?
Sorry, what?
CJ.
Right. Okay.
Did he get ick again?
The crowd would have to tell me. I have missed a few things there trying to catch videos the other day. Yeah, ick. What's that?
Oh my god.
No, that's just narcosis being a knob. Stirring the pot, as it were. Yeah, his powder blue got ick. There you go. Yeah, imagine that, a powder blue got ick. Yeah, once again, Tang's proven the point that why scientists are actually checking in to see if they carry it in their gut. Because if they do, that's a new problem. Yeah. Thanks, Israel. No, just backing it up. That's fine, man. You'll have to retract something like that. No, he said the same thing as Sandy, right? Yes, it's powder blue. I don't care if I got 20 everybody saying powder blue. That's fine.
Hey, it's powder.
Powder blue. Tang got it again. No. So, but no. And you know, Phil. Yeah, exactly. I look at his tank, and there's just. We all feel the same way. We want to jump at it and go, hey, man, do this, this, and this, and it's going to look better. He's going to reef the way he's going to reef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is. It really could have. How much did he? I know he took out like 10 pounds or 20 pounds, and there was still some left. But I'm going to check something, folks. One thing I did do was leave my phone going because I got a couple of people that asked for my help a lot. So, or I try to help anyway, and not just with fish. There we go. Boom. So, wow. Okay, that came through late. There we go. So, yeah, you know, it's. Yeah. And I kind of agree with that, Mr. Williams. If you had ick and you never removed the fish from the system, disturbing the sand bed is probably not the best idea, because I know a lot of guys bait ick, which is a technique of once you've emptied the tank, you take the dirty tank water from where the fish are before you start doing copper, and you keep a glass jar of it, and you bait the tank with the fish waste to try and lure the ick out and speed it up. And I still tell guys, you still got to do 90 days because you don't know if they all took the bait. You know, so on and so forth. Yeah, a lot of people emptying out. What's it? Are you all right, bud?
Yeah, I just feel like crap today.
Yeah, we all do. But if you feel the need to go, that's fine, Cruz. You don't have to hang out my stream.
No, I'm still.
I think that's a big point for a lot of people. They just don't want to go through the real ways to beat it. They take a while, you know. And nobody wants to go through, including myself. You know, you don't want to look at a tank that doesn't have fish in it for 3 months or whatever. You know, it's just the things that you have to do or tear down a tank, or you know, whatever. It's just, that's hard, you know. It's really, really hard.
It is insanely hard. Yeah. Like
we're looking for easy fixes. We're looking for quick fixes, and I'm as guilty as anybody else.
Exactly, and that's what I like about CJ too. And I you know, kudos to Sandy for pointing that out. CJ does do things that I may not do, and then he shows you how to fix it when you do it. So, let's say you're an average reefer and you go out and do something, and you find out, hey, CJ did this, and this is how he fixed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's an educational video. That's exactly what that is, right? You know, it's not necessarily how to not do it in the first place. It's how to do it, fix it once you've done it. That's what you need.
Once you make the oops, how do you back out from it?
How do you politely go, oops? You know what I mean? And then, you know, fix it in due time and process, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where we help other people. You just have to show them, you know, sometimes when we make mistakes and how we corrected it, so they don't have to go through the same thing. Although a lot of us do. Oh, so-and-so told me not to do that, but I didn't.
No, and yeah, so Lisa bought a live rock 2 days ago. Lisa has a gorilla crab now. It's the only thing. Yeah, and it's the only thing in the tank because she has nothing else. So it's an easy. Well, you can get them. Oh, and me and the wife found the perfect bottle for mandarin feeding and possibly getting that guy out for you. It's called. It looks like at the dollar store, the old milk bottles, right? And it's got a nice rounded throat and everything. So, phrasing. But you know what I mean, right? It's not going to hurt the fish, and it's big enough to allow a mandarin to turn around in it. So, so you can get them out. You just got to have the patience and wait for them, and you know, basically sit there and listen to a stream while you're waiting to catch them. Yeah. Tie a piece of fishing line around the neck of the bottle, and then just pull it straight up when he gets in it. You don't even got to wait that long. Once he's in far enough, just whoop, pull it, because he's not going to get his way out of there quick. Well, he's better than nothing in there, I guess. Yeah, and you never know if it cycles out and spikes on you. That'll take care of them. But you want to make sure you know it took care of them too. Trust me. You know that they're a pain in the rear later. Like I said, they love to jump on sleeping fish. So
Those bastards.
oh. Gorilla fish are bastards. No, bastards, okay.
Gorilla fish?
Gorilla fish. Is that what I said? I did too. Gorilla fish. What's a gorilla fish? That a hairy... Oh, I'd buy that. Imagine having a fish with hair that you had to clean. You got to give him a bath. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Can you get that from Live Aquaria? I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
And he eats bananas.
No, the gorilla fish. Ooh, yeah. I'm
gonna call him Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, yeah. Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. if he's small. She already named him Donkey Kong. There you go. Exactly. Hairy crab. Yeah. No, gorilla fish. That's the NyQuil talking, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. I'm here all week. Tip your waitresses.
Eddie said it's a really hairy frogfish. Gorilla fish.
That'll be the video I want to see from Michael Aaron if Freddie starts growing hair. Yeah. What are you feeding him? Yeah. No, it's I don't know. You know what? I fucking egg. Just damn. You know, damn the electric fence. Damn the electric fence. Anyway. Start doing fish beat poetry, right? Yeah, luscious corals and hills far away, a rockscape to die for. Damn the ick, damn the ick. No.
Okay, see you soon, Sandy.
See you later, Sandy. Oh, she's only going off to feed the tanks. Actually, you know what's funny?
Yep.
I was looking at my feeding schedule, and I actually mark when I feed. So I don't forget, or so that the wife doesn't go and feed the tank again, which she still ignores. But it was funny. I was looking at it and I went, wow, I'm miserly with the food. Really miserly with the food. And I'm thinking, could I feed more? Should I feed more? I do have a little bit of food aggression in my 120, just a bit. And for some reason, that's not there. All right, well, let's fix that while we're on the fly here. So it definitely... would have some kind of effect, I would imagine, right? Keep the nutrients down at the very least, right?
Yep. And it allows the fish to actually pick and graze the way that they should.
Right. Yeah. So my other camera, that camera's dead, man. I tried everything to get that other camera working. It's like, I ain't gonna keep working. The heck with that.
Gotcha.
I'll fix that up today. No, it's just I basically got it for free. So you know, if it dies, it dies. Right? That's the way I look at it too. Oh, goldfish. Oh, wet pet. Yeah. flush, right? My cares away. Yeah, but no, it's like that whole thing with that. It's like I said, would you guys say anything to him? I don't, but oh, I so want to. You know what I mean? It's just like, and would it have helped if he, done anything last night? I don't think so. Even if I think he caught everything, I think the best case scenario, at least his inverts and his corals would still be alive. So that's kind of what I was more mad about. Is like that's what I warned him about. So I don't think I need to kind of jump on it and say anything because he just learned it. He just learned it the hard way.
Exactly. Yep.
But it's what it is. Has anybody else had a similar thing like that where you've warned somebody about something and they just completely didn't listen? You can even tell that they just didn't hear what they wanted to hear, so they moved on with it, and then they did something that nuked their tank. And I mean nuked it completely down. Not a little. Well, even a little maybe, but no. Yeah, I wish it was like Rocky. Yeah. He'd come back. Well,
Yeah.
Hey, Raven. It's always going to be a topic in this hobby until somebody finds a magic bullet cure. When they figure out how to kill it where it doesn't kill everything else, but here's the problem. It's a protozoan, isn't it? Parasite?
Which one?
Ick? Cryptocarrion?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an invert.
It's an invert, right?
Invertebrate.
So anything you do that's going to kill him is going to kill all your inverts. I think that's good.
Well, I mean, the only thing that we found is, they keep on saying ick needs to go to the sand bed, it needs to gestate, and then it goes back and infects this fish, right? Well, the thing is that, and everybody kind of like laughs at it. It's like bubbling, okay? Well, if it can't reach the freaking sand bed, it's not going to live. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. That's the whole point. Is
if you float them out, if you float them out, they're not going to freaking get into your sand bed.
Yeah.
So they're not in your sand bed, they're gone.
Yeah, if they don't get to substrate, they don't get somewhere that they can latch onto, then they're gone, right? And that's the water volume principle, too. The more water volume they have, the better that's going to be, right?
Yes, sir. So, yeah, bubbling, we have seen that bubbling does reduce the amount. It does... I can't
reduce the amount of ick. Yeah.
Yes, at least the population.
Absolutely cool. Grab the link, hop on in, Eddie. I now recommend that. Oh my God. So you guys ready? Let's talk about this. We got Cruz in here, so and we were talking about bubbling a bit. So another fella dropped by who I deal with, right? I do a lot of water on Saturdays, right? I basically have 15 gallons usually right in the morning. There's a guy who comes by and gets it. I have another guy who comes by in the morning or in the afternoon. It takes me about 4 hours to fill my container. He gets the other 15, and then I run it for myself, right? So I have my automatic top-off water, so on and so forth. Speaking of which, that's going right now because I got to fill up my auto top-off. So he was talking to me, about cleaning up his tanks and a few issues, and I said, "Have you tried bubbling?" Right? So, and you tell me if he's got a case of the clevers or if it's going to work, Cruz. He thinks that what he would do, rather than put it underneath a power head and let the power head, disperse it through the tank.
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Whatever the hell he wants. That's what I was telling him, right? You can do it.
It's not my canister filter.
Right. So I said to him, here's the problem with that. I said, that's a big wood airstone going in I said, how big's your canister filter hose? Right? And he's like, oh, well, it's blah, 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 right? And he goes, couldn't I shave the airstone down? Anyway, I just kind of went, the problem you're going to have is you're going to be restricting flow with that in there all the time. Right? And that's...
But they don't seem to understand fluid dynamics.
No, and it wasn't even trying to get that far. I was just talking about restriction in the first place is a bad idea when you're dealing with it, right? So...
Absolutely. They think that the water is going to flow around it. To a point, yes, but it's still an obstruction.
Once you turn the bubbles on, let's talk about that restriction, right? That's going to be trying to go up.
Air entrainment.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. You're going to hear your pump flip out, right? And, So, anyway, and I said, listen, I wouldn't. I very much wouldn't. I said, you could strap the air zone to the end of the output, strap it on there and let that take it. That would work. Right, well, I don't want a lot of salt spray. I said, okay, so let me get this straight. You would rather not do it and not get the benefit. I said, then do it in a way that's not going to, really hurt anything and get all the benefits. I said, so here, yeah.
They were trying to teach me how to bubble. This one person, he goes, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." I said, "Oh, really? So yeah. How do you do it?" And they're like, "Oh, well, this is how we do it." And I'm like, "Oh, so you just drilled a Venturi into your freaking return pump, and you're gonna tell me that that's so controlled?" You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, they're telling me that I'm doing it wrong.
Okay, so how are they doing it?
They're okay, on the intake of the freaking return pump, they're just drilling a hole. That's it. And then they're saying that they're restricting the air, the suction of the air into there. And I was like,
so they're drilling a hole where the intake is. So basically,
the intake.
Then why wouldn't you just buy a bubble blaster and buy one that already has a Venturi on it and do that? Why would you just destroy a perfectly good pump? Okay.
But we already know that the pinwheel or the needle wheel or just the plain cavitation doesn't give you the fine bubbles that you want.
No.
They're like, "Oh, but we've got lots of bubbles." I said, "But that's not what you want."
No, it's the size of the bubble. It's the characteristics of what. Yeah, exactly. Put a Venturi on the return pump. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow. And they're like, "Yeah, you're doing it wrong." And I'm like, "I am."
Now,
I got to turn you down just a hair here, Eddie. Just a sec here. 2 moments. Just because the way things are. And go ahead, Eddie.
Well, I do know that I have a mother of bad ideas that I want to try.
Okay.
I've got friends down in Florida, Hawaii, and other places, and I know it's a bad idea. I really do. But I want them to go out to the reef at low tide, walk in as far as they can before they start drowning, grab a Gatorade bottle full of freaking sand from the floor and send it to me. Like I said, I know it's a bad idea, but I kind of want to try
it. It's not necessarily about. It's that. Think of it this way. This is what there were guys here that were going out to Black's Harbor. Okay, so it's away from all the Irving refinery bad things. It's out another way. Although, like pollution is, it's going to go everywhere anyway. But they were getting their water, and they were getting epic algae outbreaks. I mean, just one guy. I've shown the pictures. His tank was literally just algae, right? I rescued his tank. I rescued what fish I could. He had a lot of losses, but I probably saved about 60% of his tank. And just sold it off to people and gave it away to people. So I said to him, I said, well, what was the bright idea with that? And he goes, well, it's fresh seawater, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, so one, there's pathogens in that water that tropical fish from the Pacific aren't going to know how to deal with it. I said, that's just really high end. I said, low end, the beaches of the world up here are basically the world's protein skimmer. So if you look at your protein skimmer, would you take what your protein skimmer is hauling out and put it in your tank? And he went, oh, well, no. And I went, right. I said, so you just garbage in, garbage out. You know what I mean? Now, the sand, if you clean it, it's going to work, but it's not going to have the same buffering pH stuff that the tropical sand's going to have. That's the only real big difference. And trust me, it's really not going to look all that shit hot.
It's just one Gatorade bottle of it, just for the microorganisms in it.
Yeah, but remember this, too, when they close it up and it doesn't have any oxygen,
it all dies.
How long is it going to get to you? How long is it going to take?
Those are a couple of the issues that I was trying to work out. But like I said, I know it's a bad idea. I probably won't do it, but
I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. I wouldn't say bad. It would just be it's hard to enact. Is you know what I mean? The bad idea would be to put it in the bottle, close off the oxygen. 5 days later, you get it. Well, you pretty much can guarantee everything in there is dead, right?
Yeah.
Especially with no cold packs or anything else. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be neat to see. You know what? That'd be one for the business or for Miss Lurker Fox to have a look underneath the microscope once you got it and see if there was still anything living in it. You know what I mean? And what is living in it? You know what I mean? So, you know, with your luck, you'd get a bobbit worm. You know, just a baby one, right? Just cause, right? Yeah.
But he caught it for you in a fresh Gatorade bottle.
Did I hit 200 subs? Really? Did I? Thanks for noticing, Narcosis.
198.
I'm at 198. I'm getting there. There we go. Close enough. Hey, Saltwater Jeff. Long time no see, sir. How are you doing? And how's that tank? And how was the ick? Since we were talking about ick. Because last time I talked to him, that's what he was dealing with. So.
Gotcha.
But no, it's like. Oh, please, lay back. Relax, Bruce. I know you're not feeling good, bud. I know you're not. So.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, and then to top things off, I got into it with a flat earther last night. So. I just, you know, look, I have a few pet peeves. That's one of them. You know, the whole social justice warrior thing, I kind of stay away from. I'm, you know, whatever. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. Just don't get on my doorstep with it, right? But the whole flat Earth thing, really? The guys.
Flat Earthers are morons. Social justice warriors are like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, you know what's funnier with them is when they sit there, no ick, no fish, move to Hawaii. You moved? Oh, you got to tell us about that, Jeff. Go on, please do. I'll finish my thing. So the guy's argument is because from a satellite, he couldn't see planes on the Earth flying upside down when they get down to Australia and that. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not kidding. That's exactly what he said. You know how if you draw a circle and you take the plane and you make it go around, it's upside down at one point to our vision? And I said, well, no. I said, because if you're down there, you're facing this way, so the plane... What's wrong with you, man? I said, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even... He flabbergasted me so bad with that one, and he pretty much... There were 4 or 5 guys who said they were on the fence who automatically went, oh, wait a minute. I said, that's how... Do you see what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah.
This is why I'm against seatbelt laws.
Yeah, you got me, man. I said, I can't... How do I tell you that you can't get a satellite out, number one, far enough that could still see that for you to be able to real life see that? You know what I mean? You got to remember that that's a matter of forced perspective. You're down there. It's going to look the same as it does for us up here.
Well, you remember that one guy that freaking went 2,000 feet up in the air in his homemade rocket, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
Dude,
they stopped?
Yeah. Yes, but the thing is that we fly in an airplane at twice the height.
Yeah, 35,000 feet's the average for commercial airline, and the military flies much higher than that. When they you know what I mean, and they can tell you, like, you know, you wonder why you see who was it, Buzz Aldrin punching that guy in the face.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? That was 2 things. It was he was a flat earther, and he was a moon landing conspiracy guy, right? You don't look at a guy who's been there and then try to say that, like, what do you think he's going to be? That's right, NASA's all a hoax. You know. Anyway, I don't want to get on that. I'm just saying it was funny last night that I bumped into that, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? Like, you know, after the day I've had, and the guy called me out. No, we're not kidding. Yeah.
They're not freaking kidding.
Yeah. Like, okay, you need to go away now. Thank you. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Like I said, that's the reason why I'm against seatbelt laws.
Yeah, that would... certainly get the Darwin Awards should be given out regularly because there would be people trying to achieve said Darwin Award. You go right ahead, sir. Yeah, it's like the you know, I'm all about freedom of religion, but when your religion involves handling snakes, come on, come on. A rattlesnake is well, you know, I'll be protected. That's been proven time and time and again. You weren't. And you can live through a snake bite as long as you have venoms or anti-venom. So, 3,000 tangs, like 14-inch big, swimming all around you. Oh, where were you? That's Hawaii for sure. So let's see here. Was he no ick, no fish? Moved to Hawaii. I look at fish in the ocean now. So did you actually move out to Hawaii? That's why you disappeared. was gonna say I haven't seen you in a while. So you did take it was a job offer or something, Jeff? I don't remember specifically. I was just getting kind of flying there. Look at that. They went to visit the parents. They were there for 2 weeks, and they both got jobs in Kiwana. Yeah, right when the volcano's going off. Good for you.
I don't think they're... You're on the Big Island, Jeff?
Good morning. Oh, here comes another one.
I spent 7 years of my childhood out in Oahu, so...
Oh. I want to go there, but, you know, tiger sharks, volcanoes, and everything. Oh, my.
The volcano that is active is on the Big Island. You don't have to go to the Big Island. Go to Oahu, go to the tourist areas. They got one area that, is beautifully maintained as a reef preserve that you can go snorkeling and diving in. Just don't take anything back from it.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that if I were you. There'd probably be a guy waiting on the beach for you.
No, and not only that, but
when I was a kid, they actually had basically wardens on the beach watching.
And then there's also the whole juju, the bad juju thing.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the Brady Bunch effect.
Yeah,
the Brady Bunch effect. But no. I want to see video of you, Mr. Williams, petting a tiger shark. I know I've seen it, but I want to see you doing it. Because like I said, with my luck, I'm the guy who gets bit in the ass by a shark. Right?
I didn't see any tiger sharks when I was down there, but I was always finding baby hammerhead washed up on the shore.
Yep, that's a true thing. Good morning. Hey, and Tina, did you want to come in today? I know you like to pop in every once in a while. It's up to you. You could be busy. I know you were cleaning up your mama's place, so. Oh, Tim Hortons. How I hate you and love you at the same time.
Okay, what is a Tim Hortons?
Coffee. It's kind of like our Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
So it's a donut shop that's now owned by Burger King, I might add. You get murky.
The coffee quality's gone downhill.
Thankfully, no. They've actually kept that the same. It's the people ordering every conceivable sandwich at the drive-thru now instead of just a goddamn coffee in the morning. Please get your bagel indoors and let us get our coffee and get on our way to work. So, right? You know, hate that. You know, 5 bags are going in and you're just like, I'm about to get out of the car. And my wife's like, no, don't do it. Yeah. I want to get bumper stickers made. I'm going to order a bunch of shit at the drive-thru at Tim Hortons and slap it on all the vehicles. Say, see, doing it? Just so you know, don't get behind that one. We'll see. We'll see, Tina. If the conversation goes the right way, we got the right amount of people, I absolutely will stay on for a bit today. I'm feeling okay.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, it's just my sugar's dove for supper. So, my wife's happy. It's all good.
So when I finally get this area set up for having a tank,
right?
The first tank that's going in is going to be like a 10-gallon for a freaking beta for my son.
Nice.
You're getting a marine beta?
No.
Yeah, well, for the betas, they do like the Indian almond leaf. What is it called? The higher tannins.
Almond leaves? No.
Yeah,
Indian
almond leaves.
Indian almond leaves, yeah.
It helps them keep away the fin rot and a lot of other shit. So just an FYI on that.
I appreciate the info.
Yeah, not a problem, buddy.
I never took care of a beta, so when I was younger, I had a 55-gallon that was fresh water, and we had a crap ton of guppies, freaking neon tetras, mollies, freshwater eel.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, just sending something off here.
My garden fork.
So yeah, it's
Yeah, I ended up raising to handle all that. I actually
What are you going to see?
picking out roses.
Just asking Narcosis, what's he going to see? What movie? What are you going to see? I had to leave Greater Sapiens live stream. All he was talking about was spoilers for Infinity War. And it's like, oh my God, stop it, stop it. You know what I mean? There's a ton of us that haven't seen it, man. You know. Ah, and there he goes. That's what he's going. Mr. Williams is going to go see Avengers: Infinity War. So. Hope it's good. It's good. From what I hear, it's good. So. Oh no, no! Everyone's leaving. Nah, it's all right, guys. Thanks for coming by. I always appreciate you folks dropping in. So Jeff lives in Hawaii now. Look at that. We have a direct anything going on in Hawaii guy now. We have a guy out in the Philippines. That's all good, man. So, I guess jumping back to Eddie, you said so you're setting up your tank there. You're going to set up a tank for your son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What size?
10 gallon or maybe 20.
Okay. And you're going to put a beta in it, like it's just to get him a Siamese fighting fish?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they're easy to look after, man. Really.
I figure if I'm going to have to set up a tank for him, one, he's going to choose his beta, and I'll put a bunch of other little fish in there that don't look like betas.
Yeah, don't make sure they're not fancy tail guppies, because apparently they don't care. They just see the big tail and they go for it. So they can tend to be a little aggressive, right? They can be, but a lot of them, they're just happy they're alive and not living in a mud puddle anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of myths around betas, man. A lot of myths. Oh, they can live in this and they can live. Just because you bought it in a cup doesn't mean it should live in a cup, man.
Which is why I don't want it in a cup.
No.
Yep. And if you could get some Java moss, go ahead and put some Java moss in there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll talk with Mike from Mass about what kind of plants to get.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
That's the guy to talk to.
You want the low tech, low light plants that could survive almost anything. So.
Oh, Tina said guppies are usually the actual aggressor in that situation. I would believe it.
They nip. That's why I suggested utilizing like the ketapang or the Indian almond leaf as well, because the black water or the tannins would actually hide some of the coloration, but it'll keep your fins from rotting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. There you go. Anybody wants to donate? I need to go get a 5-gallon tank today. Because that female, I can watch her. She's just got my poor male stuck right underneath that rock and it's not letting him out.
Unfortunately, I got like $3 to my name right now.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just saying, like, I'm just sitting here going,
would.
Yeah, I'm Tuesday at the latest. I'm going to do it. I hope he survives till then, because she is not letting it go. I know when we move, I could probably put them back in and everything will be fine because the territory will be different. But, you know, I don't think he's going to last 34. There, she's at it again. See her? If you watch on the video stream, you can actually see her going in and actually keeping him stuck in there all day. It's like, you know, he does come out to eat, so I'd only be nervous if I fed the tank and he didn't come out. But, you know,
the stress levels.
Right. That's going to make him sick eventually, right? Yeah.
Right. Now, when I get the saltwater set up, I do plan on getting some egg crate to put down before I put sand and rock down.
Right. Yeah, no, I already told him that, Beast. He knows that. Yeah. Sorry. No, keep going. Yeah, egg crate's not a bad idea. I don't like it because the silk can cause shifting.
Okay.
The trick
I've
to it
also
is...
got some old cutting board, plastic cutting board from a butcher shop that I can scour very well and cut down to size.
I'll tell you the honest the truth. The bottom of my tank is covered underneath, like in the exposed, with duct tape. Right? I would have painted it, but the guy I got it from, he used duct tape just to keep it closed off so that if anything digs down, it doesn't get the refugium light. Right? Because that happens. I have footage somewhere of that. And then all the rock work that I sit down, I cut the bottom as flat as I can get it, so there's no points, and I just sat it down. it's, you know, if you're putting the egg crate out to stop falling rock, I always tell people you're better off to just make sure you glue your rock really well, or put posts in it so that it can't fall forward or fall backward, and then hit the tank, right? But I've had huge rocks fall and hit my sand bed and not go through my sand bed, so it doesn't happen as fast. But I mean, it's up to you. A lot of people do that method. You can't keep a goby if you're going to put egg crate down, unless you're going to put a butt ton of sand down, and even then it leads to issues. So yeah, it makes it harder for you to clean it up if something goes wrong too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got that cutting board that I can use too. I mean, it's 3 foot by 3 foot, and I got like 6 of them.
I don't think they'd leach. Would they leach, Bruce? Cutting board? Because that's that food grade plastic, because it will still give you some level of protection against piercing. So.
Yeah. I've got a buddy who
that's pretty much what we do.
And I'm thinking I might take my tank to him to break it apart and reseal it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can do that and you want to do it, and you got a guy who's good at it, yeah, sure. Why not? That'll give you 10 years before you ever have to even think about it again.
Yeah.
Depending on the age of the tank, right?
Yeah, the tank's almost 10 years.
If it is almost 10 years, it's probably due for a reseal.
Yeah, and it's been sitting in open air for 10 years, so.
But the glass is nice and clear, no scratches.
No scratches.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead, Cruz.
Oh no! I'm just saying. Over time, if it was like exposed to UV, the silicone's about time to replace.
No, the closest it's ever been to a light source that has produced a lot of UV would have been one of the apartments where it was hidden by my computer desk.
Okay, no, you're fine then. You're fine. You should be fine.
Yeah, it should be okay. I mean, reseal if
just
you want.
Yeah, you're just gonna reseal it just to make sure, right?
Yeah.
Just so you have peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my old lady doesn't
awesome.
go ape shit.
Well, yeah, you don't want to have Tim's problem. That's still wild, man. That was almost a brand new tank too, wasn't it, Tim?
Been in use about a year.
A year, and it splits the seam. That's just unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna order lunch.
Yeah, get some food in you there, bud.
I'll drop out for a little bit.
Sounds good.
I do have some concerns on the black trim on this thing.
The black trim. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
There's some. Is there any way to fix that trim?
To fix? Is it broken?
There's some cracks in it.
Okay, cracks in trim, not a big deal. As long as it's connected somewhere, it's still technically doing its job. And the trim on most tanks is, I wouldn't say it's decorative, it's protective. Right? All it's doing is protecting the edges of the glass. Right?
Okay.
So, and in some cases, it's getting the tank off from being flat on the ground, which is what I think happened to Tom, my saltwater journey. When he sat his tank out on his front step, I noticed it was concrete and it was not a trimmed tank. So when he filled it, I think that caused a lot of pressure points, and that's why it shattered in so many places.
Yeah.
Because water weighs 8.34 pounds per gallon. That's all you need to know. Do the math, right? So a 75-gallon tank, start doing the math. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, most of the cracks I've noticed are on the upper trim.
On the upper trim?
Yeah.
You could, hypothetically, remove it, right? Clean up the glass. But the thing is the glass underneath is probably not going to be sanded and finished. It's not going to be edged, right? So you could, hypothetically, depending on, it's a 75?
Yeah.
Look around for a U75 where the trim's not cracked and cut it off, right? So you take a sharp X-Acto knife, the when you push out, you can break the pieces off as it dulls.
I've got several of those.
And you basically draw it along underneath, and then slowly, if you watch Joey King of DIY, he does it a bunch of times in videos, and shows you how to remove it. and then reseal it back down, right? So you could take one that looks better, put it on, make sure it fits, and then basically silicone it back down as a seal. And it it'll clean it up. I'd go rimless, but the problem is, like I said, it would be unfinished.
Right.
So it wouldn't look as good as a finished rimless tank. So.
Somebody say rimless? Who said?
Say it.
What are you saying, Tim?
Rimless?
He's got You got a rimless tank, don't you?
I have a rimless with Euro brace.
With a Euro brace on it, yeah.
Yep, indeed.
Now that's another option that you would have, Eddie. You could create a Euro brace, right? Do you know what Euro bracing is?
That's where it's on the inside, clear acrylic or glass.
Yeah, or it's on top, right? You can brace it on top, but you're basically connecting 4 pieces of glass, right? And then if you want, putting one in the middle just to hold the middle up a little bit. I don't really think that does a whole lot. If it's just connected with silicone, it's not really doing anything. Okay. But the whole trick to that is you could clean up the top by adding a Euro brace, right? So instead of putting the trim back on, go to your local glass store or go to someone you know that works at one, and get them to cut you the exact sizes so that you have one on the front, one on the back, 2 on the sides, and they're basically edge to edge, so that they're on the inside of the tank, and make sure they're all sanded. All the edges are sanded, because you're going to reach into that tank. The last thing you want to do is, if a fish surprises you, is pull your hand out and cut yourself so biblically. You know what I mean? That it's now it's you got to put carbon in.
Something similar to that.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have a scar on my hand from being safe and then doing an unsafe thing with the blade. And thankfully it was a brand new blade, but it still required 4 stitches and a tetanus shot. And I basically shoved the edge blade right into the knuckle on my hand. That was it didn't even hurt. It was so sharp. It was so new. And there's pictures of it. I got pictures.
I've got something like that on my pinky.
Yeah. There's those biblical cuts where you're like, wow, why is that not hurt? Why is it not bleeding? Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Like, all right, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that's an idea. You could find another old tank where the trim's not all beat up, safely remove it, just take your time, peel it off. So you got to do it on the outside and on the inside. And you're basically lifting to break it, because the plastic and the glass don't really hold to each other that well with silicone. And then clean it up and then put it onto your tank. So now you have a piece of trim that looks good. I hate trim, but I love trim on my big tank, because the trim does help you put a lid on it. So if you want to build your screen, right?
Yeah, a few years ago when I first moved up to Utah, I had bought a bunch of equipment, just willy-nilly, thinking I need a glass lid, I need this, I need that. When I bought the glass lid on Amazon, because I couldn't find it at the local fish stores, they sent it to me, and literally one of the panes that for it had broken. Right. So I was down to to half of what I had.
Yep.
And so, right now you can actually see it over there. The lid is underneath right there. So that's the only piece I have.
Yeah. So one of the big pane broke, or the little one broke?
The big pane.
Oh, of course it did. Of course it was the big one, right?
Yeah.
Chances are you could probably get it if you still have the hinge, right? Because I know they're hinged, right?
Or did you? No point in keeping that at that point, because it was like 5 years ago. I threw it away.
Gotcha. No, that's cool.
Well, I was angry.
There we go. So, yeah, it's one of those things. We kind of bump into it from time to time. That shipping sucks. Because it's like I said to everybody, if you're not there, if I'm moving it and I break it, that's one thing. But if I get it and it's already broken, God, that pisses me off every time to no end.
I had ordered a TV one time, and it came cracked.
Oh. And of course, no way to return it, right?
Well, there was a way to return it.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, I was able to return it, and they said they'd overnight me one. Then they couldn't find out they were lying, because they couldn't overnight TVs.
Yeah. Probably just a new employee. That's the way that works every time. Oh, we can do that. No, we can't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I chewed the company out thoroughly for that.
But you got your replacement, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there you go. Now, the big one for me is, like I was telling Tim, a lot of stuff. I was laughing yesterday with Amazon. I can order a camera that's wireless, and it's a 920 from Logitech, and in Canada it's $300. I can get it in the States for $89. And it's got its own stand, it's got its own everything. I literally can just, boom, there we go. Away we rip. So now what I got to do is get someone to order it and get it shipped when I'm ready, and get it out of the States. Because why would I pay 3 times more for the exact same product, right? Oh, and on Amazon, I was seeing them for like $700 up here in Canada. It's like, are you crazy? I'm not paying $700 for a camera. You know, if it's not a Rebel T6i or something really, 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 really good, or a Nikon or something, not for a webcam, a wireless webcam. I don't care if it's 1080p. I'm basically using this to get different views of the tanks, right? So the idea is we were going to do 5 cameras. I think it's going to be almost 10 when it's all said and done. But it's all different views of tanks. When I'm moving, we're going to have different ones set up throughout the house. And we're going to show moving the tank, filling the tank, with the rocks, and then filling the water, and then getting everybody back in. You know what I mean? And basically kind of doing it live, for the most part. And then I thought, well, I might just do video. We're not sure yet. We're going to see how bad it is to do. Because like the wife said, she's going to be busy unpacking while we're basically moving the tanks over, right? She'll help, of course she will, right? But like she said, do I really need to help with you guys moving the big stuff? Because I can't even carry a bucket of water full of, water. She goes, I don't want to do it if it's full of fish. I went, true enough, But you can grab the little boxes of all the equipment and all the other stuff, right? Like a friend of mine goes, are you going to take all the equipment off the tank? Are you insane? I'm just going to take it off the tank, get the tank off the stand, and put everything back in the stand. We're going to empty the sump, and anything that needs to stay living goes into a bin in water, and anything that can just let it dry out, who cares, stays in the tank, and that's going to stay in the stand. Because that 40-gallon breeder sump will be protected in the stand, right? So, yada, yada, yada. So, you know what I mean. So, So, Tim, what's on your agenda today?
I am still doing cable management.
Oh, he's still digging with his tank. Ha, ha, ha. We all do that.
Yeah. So, other than that, then a little later on, it's Mother's Day, so take the wife out to eat somewhere.
Yep. A lot of people are going to be doing that today. Once again, to all the mothers out in the stream, happy Mother's Day.
I got to get this one piece of Monty that's been laying down here on the sand that the blue tang likes to pick up and move from different places and let me go figure out where it's at. I'm going to get that on the rock so he doesn't mess with it anymore.
It's his job.
It's his construction, So this goes over here.
Yep, that's where this goes, man. Don't touch that.
He's the lord of the tank, or thinks he is anyway. So, but he'll find out today that. Well, maybe he'll say, "Well, you finally put it someplace." But it works out to that. I have the affinity towards the blue tang. He's been with me a long time.
Yeah, you were saying there. So.
Yeah, and now unless he goes rogue like yours did.
Yeah.
We won't. Then he'll have to find a different home. But he's pretty good natured. So,
yeah, I think I'm gonna.
I do have a bad piece of information. I didn't tell anybody before, but earlier in the week, the wrasse that I picked up, the orangeback wrasse. When I brought him home, it's been 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He was kind of skittish, but he was eating, but he would hide, and he just seemed to be really scared of the blue tang. But the blue tang really wasn't doing anything but swimming by him. But he would just go back in the rocks and come back out, and he was hid most of the time. And I guess maybe there was something wrong from the beginning, but he just never did come out and completely act like he was safe or felt good in the tank. And then a couple days ago, he's like, upside down on one side of the tank and just kind of, and I go, well, I don't know. There's no marks on him. There wasn't anything on him. I don't know what it was.
Just stressed himself out and died.
I guess, I've tried about three of those, and passing. I've had one that I had for a long time, which is why I really wanted one again, but I haven't had any luck keeping one or getting one to live in the tank. And I brought him home with a flame angel, and that little flame angel was he's just having a good time in the tank, you know. So it doesn't seem to be associated. It doesn't seem that something about the same LFS that they came from, and I don't know.
Yeah. So Jeff, what did you do with your Red Sea Reefer 750, man, when you moved? I'm guessing he sold it, because transporting that to Hawaii is out of the question, since you got to fly there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you didn't take too big of a bath on it, because I know you only just got it, really. I think, it was less than 6 months old, wasn't it? Yeah. He's the one who had that big Peninsula Red Sea Reefer, Tim? Remember?
Yeah?
Yeah, with the 4 radions on it that I just kept getting all jelly over.
Yeah. Huh. Went to Hawaii, huh?
He moved to Hawaii.
Yellow Tang Land. We got an LFS fish store here that was selling yellow tang the other day for $25 a piece.
Really? Just trying to get rid of them?
I don't know.
That's weird. They're normally $100 now.
Well, they had jumped up to $50, $60 range here for small ones.
Yeah.
Which is kind of high. Normally that's a fish in this area that average LFS would sell for $40. You know?
Right.
And if you've got a larger one, you might go to 69, $70, $80 for a large one. But
yeah, exactly, right.
Go
ahead.
I just posted in Reefer Madness just one of the bins of rock I collected.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of jealous people over that, man.
Yeah.
That you can just go collect Marco rock.
Yeah. Another thing is I can get oolitic sand out here, oolite sand.
Oh, I wouldn't use oolite. Well, that's me. Oolite's too light, man. It blows around in your tank too much.
Even if I put it in the sump?
Well, the thing with the sand in the sump, you're going to want to... I know this sounds crazy. You can do that, but I would probably just save your money and get Miracle Mud and put it in your sump. Just for the benefits. It far outweighs what you're going to get out of that, because really, in all honesty, I have nothing in my sump but Biomedia and Chado, right? And then now Miracle Mud's going to go in there. It works better. It does more for the tank than actually just regular sand would, as far as copes go. So, but yeah. Well, all right. So that's
just make sure I turn off my pumps when I put it in.
Yep. Make sure you turn everything off, let it settle, and then turn it back on. So, as a general rule, right? I'm going to put mine in a container, and then once it settles down off of that, slowly lift the lid off the container, and then get my pumps going again. Yeah. So, listen, guys and gals, I just got a message from the wife, and I got to go pick her up. She got off for Mother's Day. So she got done work early, so she wants me to take her out. So
you better go do it, man.
I better go do it. It's Mother's Day, right? So
Mrs. Happy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to cut it off. We're at an hour and a half anyway. I will stream again later on tonight, probably after Michael Aaron's. Aaron's Aquarium will be on at, I think it's 7 his time generally, so that would be 3 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock Eastern. So
that's lunchtime here in El Paso.
that's early for you. Yeah.
All right. You have fun now.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. What?
Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Everybody else, thanks for coming. Have a good day, and I will talk at you all later.
Peace out.
Peace out.